At Catalhoyuk, we find a lot of murals decorating the inside of these various homes, and we're going to look at a couple of them. The first being the deer hunt, and this is really an early narrative scene in the modern tradition. So the figures here are implying movement. And what they're trying to do is get across this sense of a hunt going on, or we believe that they're trying to get across this sense of a hunt happening. Humans are starting to appear more often, and oftentimes they're going to be appearing in composite view, which means that we're looking at more than one viewpoint. Think of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. You're seeing the legs in profile as if they're facing to the right or to the left, but then the chest would be facing the viewer, the face facing forward. So we have this sort of contortion taking place, and that is related to relatability. Communication. It makes the human body really obvious that what we're dealing with is in fact a human form. At Catalhoyuk, we see that same thing, that composite view, which creates this coherent narrative of men or men and women out performing a hunt. We also see black figures and red figures. We're not sure what that difference is. In some nearby societies, that could be gender, and some that could be sort of the equivalent of ethnicity or nationality. And those are broadly stated. The other piece that we have is the landscape with volcanic eruption. And this is the first time that we are seeing an identifiable place depicted in a landscape. Now, why do this? Well, think about it. If you have a volcano erupting, and here's a reconstruction of it, just to make it more legible, this is going to be massive. It's going to be unpredictable. It's going to be unstoppable. And what they're seeing is a volcanic eruption happening in the distance, probably 40, 50 miles away. So they can see it, but they have no idea what's going on. I mean, if you've never seen a volcanic eruption nor know that volcanoes exist, and suddenly there's fire coming from the ground in this giant column of smoke higher than anything you can imagine, what are you going to think? You're going to think the gods are probably fairly angry. And so this depiction, here's a reconstruction in one of these shrines. What we see is a depiction of a landscape without people or animals. You don't need it. It's capturing that narrative. It's capturing the idea of this eruption off in the distance. Although it is a coherent narrative, it gives us an idea of exactly what's going on. You can't look at that, even in its very abstract form, without noticing that the squares are probably Catalhoyuk, and the mountain seems to be erupting. Something seems to be happening. Just those abstract lines give us the impression of what's going on. Many people believe this may be a historical record or something that's been passed down. This idea of an eruption tied to their gods. Maybe if you don't placate the gods appropriately, if you don't make them happy, then they will somehow do something to you. And an eruption or an earthquake would be sort of the ultimate form to them because it seems to wipe out everything around it. Oftentimes today we get used to, oh, there's an eruption over in Java or somewhere, and we just don't pay that much attention. But to them, this is deeply personal. This is something that they would have never seen, and you might only see once in a lifetime. And so you're going to record it, that sort of human need to record things in our lives. We do the same thing today with selfies. It's just theirs took a lot longer to create and tended to be in a more abstract form than what we post to Insta Snap a Chat-a-book today.